Thank you all for being here today. I'm Dee Dee Salvatierra, and this is Linda Lou Harris, and we're honored to be part of this special presentation representing the Blue Ridge chapter of the Quilts of Valor Foundation. We are sponsored by the Western North Carolina Quilters Guild, and Bonnie and Linda and I are all quilters involved in this effort, and currently we have over 35 members making quilts. The Quilt of Valor awarded today, has been lovingly made to honor, comfort, and heal this U.S. Armed Services veteran touched by war. To give you a brief history of the Quilts of Valor Foundation, it was started in 2003, by Blue Star mother Catherine Roberts of Seaford, Delaware. While her son was deployed in Iraq, Catherine had the idea of comforting veterans touched by war with handmade quilts. She wanted to make sure that returning veterans were welcomed home with tangible reminders of appreciation and gratitude. To date, the total of Quilts of Valor that have been awarded exceeds 210,000 here in the United States, as well as presented in Germany, Iraq, and Afghanistan. In the U.S. alone, there are over 400 groups like ours making quilts to comfort veterans. A Quilt of Valor is the highest civilian honor we can bestow on these veterans. We thank you for your service, your sacrifice, and your valor. You are not forgotten. So we're going to go ahead and present this.
I'm going to show you the quilt first,
Yes, by all means, please.
and then I'm going to put it on top of you.
It's okay, and then take another picture.
Here's the top. Here's the top. And this one
Oh,
is
look at
Wow.
that.
That's a
spectacular.
new line.
It's spectacular.
Do you know what this is across the top in the red and the blue?
No, because I can't see it.
Oh, okay. Well, it
Well,
doesn't
we'll
say
get it
anything.
closer.
It's a code.
And
Well,
Sylvia put that on
I
there
got the
for
code.
you.
What is,
It's a dash and dot, 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 dot.
Uh-huh.
Dot,
what am I
dash,
looking?
There's a dash,
Oh,
dot, dot, dot,
oh, I
dot,
see. Okay.
dot, dash,
Okay.
dash, dot. You know this.
No,
I know you
I
do.
was slightly. Okay. Okay.
It's Morse code.
Yeah, yeah. It's not just, no, it's the international Morse code, because there's another Morse code.
Is there?
You get away with
Something new every
knowledge.
day.
The railroads
Oh, okay.
use Morse code.
Okay.
This is different,
Okay.
to a certain extent.
Okay.
Well, according to Sylvia, who made this quilt along with
Others.
two others from the Cimarron Valley Quilts of Valor group in Stillwater, Oklahoma, for you.
Yes, I
Do
know
you want to
where
look
she's
at the
at.
label at all? No?
This corner. Oh, there it is. So while they're doing that, I will proceed.
Quilted in Oklahoma.
This is how Victor described his military service to his ham radio operator friends, and I'm paraphrasing. My age is 96 years young. Is that correct?
Precisely.
I'm a disabled vet. This just touches my heart. I landed on Omaha Beach on day 2 of the invasion.
Wrong.
Wrong?
I was the first footprint on Omaha Beach in the report.
You personally?
My unit.
Oh my gosh. Oh,
My unit was the first
okay.
one. Now I wonder if you know why.
I think I do. Let me continue.
You can finish this up.
You're a combat engineer, correct, with the 12th Army Corps. You spoke French, so you were one of the first ones in,
Not to keep talking.
building and blowing up bridges. I got this from Sylvia. You were attached to the 3rd Army under the direction of General Patton.
later.
later. Okay, but engineers are needed to sweep the beaches.
Correct.
Ding, ding, ding.
No, that's correct.
Good. Okay, that's what she sent me. You were in the Battle of the Bulge. So was my father.
Really? Who's he with?
553rd Anti-Artillery Army, something like that.
You got a list of that, those you still
Yes.
have?
I do.
You can look them up.
Oh my gosh, wow. You left Patton's command and was sent to Luzon, the Philippines. And
Just to keep me busy.
yeah, give you something to do. And you were attached to General MacArthur to entertain the Japanese, it said, and led the invasion force to land on the beaches of Japan.
That's the other big thing. And the reason we were there is because MacArthur did not have enough of his own engineers in any division of the military to do the job we did on Omaha Beach. So he wanted more engineers to come down to do the same job on the Japanese beaches.
Wow. Wow. Amazing.
This is just living history.
Well, it is, it's just, no, it's not documentary.
You are living history.
No, when you're on your the point is, we led the invasion force, the flotilla, the Navy. We were, our little landing pad was in the front of these battleships and aircraft carriers. 2 days out, this is the captain speaking. The war is over. We dropped 2 bombs, Nagasaki and Hiroshima.
August.
And the prince decided enough was enough. That's it. Sort of. That's right. We continued.
Right.
We went into Tokyo Bay. We debarked and was trucked up to Tokyo itself. And we lived in the Imperial Stadium. The Imperial Stadium happened to be next door to the palace. I mean, a big old iron gate around the palace, huge. We were next door.
You can have his photograph taken in front
Yeah,
of
we
the
have
palace,
a
right?
picture of him in front of the gate.
A little more information for our guests. Victor has been involved with ham radio as emergency management for races and events, weather emergency, and numerous other projects.
Two.
This quilt was made for Victor by Sylvia Cox of Stillwater, Oklahoma. They met through the ham radio system. Also members of her Cimarron Valley Quilts of Valor chapter. Of note, the red and blue squares and rectangles above the heart up at this end, each separated by white squares, says thank you in Morse code. This is a very special quilt indeed. Victor, you are an inspiration to all who meet you and have known you in person or through the airwaves. Thank you, thank you.
Okay, my little part.
Oops, oops.
Well, you know, this is from our hearts, and my father was in World War II.
Really?
Yes, he was a rear gunner. He was 5'5" and just a little guy, so he fit in the,
Off the cab of a truck?
no,
In the
From what?
tank?
an airplane.
Airplane.
He
Yes.
can have it.
Yeah,
He
yes.
can have it. No contest here.
But-
I wouldn't trade places with any of those guys. No way.
So when I say from my heart, from our hearts, I really mean it, because this is something as special to me as it is to you,
Well,
okay?
Yeah.
So what I want to tell you is, first, we honor your service. We honor you.
May I take a break in this? Just because
Sure.
it's a comment. I do accept these kudos, but I accept them in behalf of all these other guys that were with me.
Right.
First of all, second and third of all, the point of the story being, you know, and I know, the real heroes. I mean, I don't think I don't appreciate it. I do, I thank you, the real heroes are still there. Any question about that? I didn't mean it at all.
No, that's okay. We honor you for having left all that you held dear to stand in harm's way in a time of crisis, protecting us from the effects of war. Second, our quilters know that freedom is not free. The cost of our freedom is the dedication of the lives of men and women like you, and this quilt is meant to say, thank you for your service.
Thank you.
This quilt is meant to offer comfort to you.
And it does.
You are
You
forever.
succeeded.
Good. So you are forever in all of our thoughts and hearts. So each quilt of valor is formed by loving hands that join bits of fabric together, one piece at a time. And this quilt especially joined many small pieces of fabric together.
Mhm,
Many small pieces,
mhm, mhm.
one piece at a time. Quilters often work together in sewing groups to create these quilts. As we quilt, we talk about our families and friends and how grateful we are to those who will be receiving what we call our quilty hug when we wrap them in a quilt of valor. We believe that as we sew, love, caring, and gratitude flow from our hearts through our hands into these quilts. All of us as quilters want you to know that through our quilts, you are forever in our hearts.
Reminds me of the sewing. A name comes to mind, don't ask me why. But a name pops up for some unknown reason. Sewing. Rumpelstiltskin.
I thought you were going to say Betsy Ross.
No, I go back a little, my third childhood,
Well, I have a certificate here that is sent from
Oh, yeah.
Sylvia.
Oh.
Okay,
Fantastic, really fantastic.
and she also made a pillowcase for you.
Wow. Oh, no, that is really attractive.
Isn't
I
that
mean,
beautiful?
In its simplicity, it's beautiful. No, I'm not trying to say what you think you want to hear.
No.
People will do that. You know what I mean?
No.
But when you get back with Sylvia, you can tell her I was justifiably impressed.
Okay, justifiably impressed.
His words.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. No, this is quite a treasure. I mean, this is notwithstanding, but considering the homemadeness of this.
Mhm.
Well, this is too, so you got all
Yeah,
kinds
yeah.
of handmade things.
I said in this, yeah, no, but I think that this seems to carry more of an ideology, of
Okay.
personality, individuality. I
Mhm.
mean, this is very personal.
There is no other quilt like this, and I
Okay.
can guarantee you there will
Right.
not be.
No, this is
Terrific.
amazing.
This, when
Everything.
Because of all the small pieces involved
Right.
on this quilt,
Right.
we're talking hours and
Yeah.
hours of work as opposed to
Shall we
bigger
pull
pieces.
this
Yeah,
down?
yeah.
And get a picture, so we can send it to her.
Yeah, please. Oh, that's fantastic.
And I'll lay this up over your
There, over your pillow.
pillow, okay?
Great,
Super.
You can see the heart,
great.
it's beautiful.
Okay, hold your certificate down a
Yeah.
little bit, I wanna
Yeah,
get
let's see your
you.
face.
There we go. There he is, man of the hour.
Yes.
Wonderful,
Thank you,
wonderful.
thank you.
You are so welcome.
No,
Thank you.
What a pleasure to
Okay.
meet you. Thank you to everybody for making the effort to
Yes.
be here.
Yes, this is special.
This is very special.
Thank you guys, really.
Good.
Needless to say, I don't like to be redundant necessarily, but having been there and done that, I have an entirely different point of view on it's like buying an automobile. You want to find out about your car? Go to a guy that owns one. I mean, whatever. As a result, I can say I was there, let there be no doubt, and had the experience, as unpleasant as it might have been. But you see, therein to the grace of God go I. Anybody gonna argue? I mean, really, because under that heading, and my family's heard this before, what will be.
Okay, so Ross.
The Bible has one word that covers us, preordained. Questions? You're doing this, you realize that?
Yeah.
Okay. Name it again. It's not a matter of, oh, you thought of this or this, or she
No.
thought of this. No. Because of the-
You know what I like to say? God saw ahead and went ahead and prepared everything, and then he came back and walks through it with us.
God
Takes
pre-
us through.
God prepared this before we were born.
That's right.
Before we were born. So preordained is meant to be today, meant to be this, meant to be everything.
You're not a builder?
Yes, it's awesome, isn't it?
I'm looking at me with some. I have
everybody's-
to.
Okay, we're gonna have a picture.
Got to.
I swear, I remember I used to go down.
Okay.